guys, welcome. This is a general reading for the collective of Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. You can also be here as a cross watcher. Yeah, this is a date and time specific reading. The whole series of readings this time is all speaking to Saturn's ingress into Pisces. So Saturn moved into Pisces an hour or two after the full moon in Virgo on March 7th. And he's a slow-moving planet. Takes 2.5 to 3 years, depending on retrogrades, for him to go through each sign. So he hasn't been in Pisces since, I think I looked it up last night. I want to say 1994. Yeah, it's been a while. So you've all been asking me for transit readings. How will it impact your relationships? And that's what I'm here to do. So just before I jump in, I'll give you some keywords for Pisces and some keywords for Saturn so you can get a feel for the energetic shift. Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac. So in about a week and a half, we're going to actually, like a week, we're going to move into a whole new astrological year as we shift from Pisces mansion into Aries mansion. So obviously this is a sign of completion, of transitioning, of releasing, of letting go of, and of dissolving. Pisces is all about we are one, and so there's always room for forgiveness. Yeah. And then Saturn comes along and says, no. You're not done yet. You have some lessons to learn. Saturn is about structure, yes, rules, of course, limitations and restrictions, karmic reckonings, boundaries. The avatar I have in my mind is the teacher that walks up and down the aisles as you're taking a test, tapping his watch, right? Or her watch. Timekeeper, the great teacher. And Saturn, you bring your paper up with your little hand shaking, and Saturn has no problem taking out the red pen. It's just like X, X, X. And so it isn't a very comfortable place for Saturn to be. And it feels to me like some of the challenges that will be brought to bear in our relationships, because that's what I read for in the next 2.5 to 3 years, because he's in Pisces through into 2026. Some of the issues may be around boundaries in relationships, may be around forgiveness or the lack thereof, around flow, just kind of going with it. At the same time, respecting the need for structure and for boundaries to be respected. This is also a transit that talks about spiritual discipline. So it's also part of our program here to talk about that, about focusing on your next highest timeline. And the lessons that you learn, Saturn then rewards you for them, and you step into your next highest timeline and do not have to repeat them ever again. Yay. So that's what we're looking at here, Scorpio. Let's look at the first card out for you. The overall energy for this reading is the Five of Cups. Regrets of the past, mistakes of the past, sadness, grief, loss, unhappiness. Right. So this first row, absolutely what we need to release. Then we've got Saturn coming in here, shaking us up, showing us lessons, yes. And then our next highest timeline. This is so powerful. Justice on the bottom, I like that for you, Scorpio, because that is about the leveling of the playing field. So we know we're already starting with a look backward, which makes sense. So I was talking about leveling the playing field, and in this ear I was hearing my cat's fountain is in the kitchen. And there's something wrong with it, and it keeps flowing backwards over the back, and I could hear it flooding my kitchen floor. I never, ever splice and dice my videos. I don't trust readers who do, but good cards, you saw me pull them, and then I heard the fountain, and that's the only reason why. So no clarifiers have been pulled. But yes, we are mostly concerned here with a final leveling of the playing field and a reckoning with, as Saturn wants us to do, with the past. So our first row here is about Pisces and what needs to be released. Yeah, there's been a painful ending. We need to kind of release that energy of feeling defeated or disempowered on some level by somebody who wasn't cooperative with us. Three of Pentacles. Now, this could be a friend. This could be the love of your life. It could be someone that, you know, you've just had a very disappointing run of things where you really felt shortchanged. And then Saturn's going to come in and give you a bit of an eye-opener here and say, you know what, new paradigm shift. You have to stand up for, you know, for what it is that you seek, for what it is you deserve and desire. There we have it, Queen of Wands, right? That energy of stepping forward. This can be resistance to and defensiveness, but it feels like, yeah, I don't want someone that comes in and out and in and out and in and out, no matter how big and good the passion is. So I definitely am feeling here that part of the lesson for you in Saturn, while Saturn's in Pisces, Scorpio, or whoever you are watching, is about that taking a stand for and or against what you desire and deserve. And that it kind of comes like a lightning bolt into your awareness. And then your next highest timeline is about manifesting the one who comes and the one who stays. I love the King of Pentacles here for you. Next to this Magician, you have all the tools at your disposal to manifest this, because you're going to make yourself very plainly clear. And then you're being encouraged to not give up, to kind of persevere and hang in there. Yeah, you might get a little exhausted after a while, but, you know, because it's instead of just retreating, which is what I feel this Queen of Wands is coming through reversed, instead of just retreating, you step into it, and as a result, you get what you want. And I'm not saying that in a, I want what I want. No, what you want is somebody who's invested in the connection, at least, you know, cooperative in that vein, and that shows up for you, that has your back here in 3D. And that doesn't come in the door to get their needs met and go right out the back door. All right, so sorry for the Dyson Splice and the interruption of my kitten's fountain. That is 2 now that I have spent big money on, and neither of them work, so he's going to have to learn how to drink out of a bowl. The problem is he would rather swim in a bowl of water. So cute. It's like having a baby. Jeez. Yeah, all right. So Scorpio, things have been really not grand. We have all 3 5s here. So this is your overall energy. And we're painting the picture here. 5 of Cups, 5 of Pentacles, 5 of Swords. Feeling defeated, feeling betrayed, or even set up, sabotaged in some way. Abandoned, forsaken, devalued, disappointed. There's your card, Scorpio. Death card. Growth, change, transformation. We're done with this. So remember what I said about your next highest timeline. You do not have to repeat this energy. No, because you're about to step forward and duke it out with whoever gets in the way and tries to pull this kind of ish on you going forward. No more. All right, let's look at the 10 of Swords with the Queen of Wands. There's Pisces, shows right up. Yes, look at this. We had this beautiful connection, or so we thought. Definitely a painful ending. Feel like there was a lot of romance between you, past life soulmate energy, the beautiful energy of the Knight of Cups, which is very romantic, you know, and the world here is Saturn's energy. So this is what's been underlying the connection, because as I pull from the bottom of the deck, I'm looking up at what's in unconscious awareness or rising up in the psyche or playing out behind the scenes. There's been an impending shift of cycle here. And I feel like it's kind of this whatever happened here after all this beauty really did a number on you and disempowered you to some degree. In terms of where you thought you were headed. And let's look at the 3 of Pentacles. Magician. Yeah, despite your best efforts, I kind of feel like you ended up on your own here. You didn't have the buy-in. You didn't have the cooperation. You had dealing with someone who was more complacent. Like, let me give you an example. The Nine of Cups, when it's complacency, is an energy of, I don't want to work that hard. Things are good as they are. I don't need 10 cups. I got 9. So there's I don't want to call it laziness, just almost a resting on one's laurels, taking something for granted, and therefore not being as cooperative. And as much as you tried to manifest that, I feel like you ended up flying solo anyway. 9 of Pentacles. So that's what you're releasing. That's what's transitioning. You're transitioning away from that, Scorpio. So let's look at Saturn here. Tower. Yes. Wow. So now we have the King of Wands and the Queen of Wands. Remember, we have the Queen of Wands up here. So here's the King to the Queen. Yeah, Saturn comes in and says, yeah, they're not going to overcome their, complacency or lack of confidence. The King of Wands almost always lays claim to what he wants without hesitation. This is very powerful energy. Both these cards are Leo energy, and we have here the beautiful Divine Feminine Empress. And I just sort of feel like there's an awakening with the Tower. I don't think it's a Tower moment. I think it's a Tower inspiration where you go like, oh, this ish is not going to change. So it's eye-opening, maybe not in the most pleasant way, but I do feel that it supports you in getting your confidence back, which looks like it was shaken with the Ten of Swords, with the painful ending. And now we have the Nine of Wands with the Knight of Wands. Say that 3 times fast. Yeah. Like, nope, I'm done with that. This is so perfect, Scorpio. Oh, I love when you just lay it all out. I feel like I'm starting to understand you all. Like, I only have Neptune and Scorpio in my chart in the 4th house. And I just like, I feel like I don't even understand me when it comes to the Scorpio in my chart. But I feel like I'm starting to get you. Look, saying, yeah, no more, that's done. No more heartache. I want a relationship. I want somebody who's in it with me as an equal partner. Not someone who just comes in and out according to their whims. So I feel like I'm seeing a lesson being learned here, but it kind of like the lesson's coming in early. The lesson's coming in now. You're seeing it almost at the same time that you're closing out this astrological year, and that Pisces energy is like, yeah, I have had enough of this, and I need to get my game face on because this person clearly isn't going to take the action that's needed. They just want what they want when they want it, and I don't want to live under that construct anymore. I know what I want. I'm not asking for much. I'm just asking for someone who stays. And that means through the difficult times, relationships aren't ideal. And, I see someone here that's like saying, yeah, no, it's not perfect. But if every time it's not perfect, you split, that is not ideal at all. And that's not something that you want to work with anymore. So let's go ahead and look at your next highest timeline with the Magician and the King of Pentacles. Again, manifesting someone who works through the difficulties. So this seems in your next highest timeline, you're turning your back on conflict, challenges that sort of come from outside sources. What you really want in your unconscious awareness here with this King of Cups is someone with emotional maturity, someone with emotional availability. That's what you'll be manifesting in the form of someone who's right in front of you here in 3D, and you're turning your back on the conflict. And the conflict can come from outside sources, like I said. So in other words, time, right? Sometimes people want to be with you when they want to be with you, and they don't want to feel any sense of obligation. That is an interesting concept, because if we all only were with each other when we wanted to be with each other, there'd be no freaking things such as marriage and long-term relationship and life partnership. It just wouldn't exist. You have to kind of persevere through the difficult times, and through, and do things and engage in activities that you're not always jazzed about, but it's part of relationship. It's part of the soul bond. It's part of the souls having a human experience here in 3D. And I was saying to someone else the other day, and I can't remember who it was, sometimes to me the King of Pentacles is just about, hon, can you bring in the groceries? I know that sounds crazy, but that's what I'm talking about when I say someone that shows up for you and has your back in 3D and does things they don't always want to do or like to do, but they do it because it's part of the program of being in relationship and in connection. It's supportive. It's cooperative. It isn't, I'm just around for the good sex and then I'm gone. That's not how this game works. And I feel like you're having this paradigm shift. That's what Saturn is helping you with. And then your next highest timeline, you're like, ain't nobody got time for this, right? I am manifesting something higher. I don't have time for this. Wow. Now let's look at the Nine of Wands. It will be worth persevering for. It will be worth the struggle, because you come out on the other side of it with your beloved, or a beloved, I'm going to say it that way, and the beginning of life partnership. And you know how all of that becomes a thing? Because of this. Center card, all the energy, vortex position on this table is to that Seven of Wands. That's about the boundaries. That Seven of Wands is Saturn saying, your new boundaries are no more pain from someone who can't commit, or who's only in it for the minute when they want it to get their needs met. No, you have terms, and those are the new rules of the road. I kind of really like it for you, Scorpio. I feel like your next highest timeline is going to be bringing you a lot of love and stability in relationship. It won't come easily, but it will certainly be well worth it. And I can hardly wait to see what comes through in the extended. There is a link in the description box below. I'm going to tell you the astrology in a second, but the link's going to take you to the extended, and I'm going to look at your person, especially this King of Cups, King of Pentacles person. I'm going to look at that through the same lens of Saturn moving into Pisces, and I will also use an oracle card in the extended. But here's who shows up for you astrologically. Your own card, Death card, Scorpio. Whew, the Knight of Cups, Pisces in the Pisces row. The World, Saturn, that's Aquarius and Capricorn. Queen of Wands is Aries. There's a lot of energy being activated in Aries right now. We had a conjunction yesterday and kind of today of Jupiter and Chiron. So expansion of healing our wounds of the past has been really powerful in the sign of Aries. Find that 14, 15 degrees of, somewhere between 13 to 15 degrees of Aries in your chart, and you will see what aspect of life, meaning the house, that's happening in. Magician, Virgo and Gemini, that's a card of Mercury. Communication, right? Here we've got Virgo in the Nine of Pentacles. Tower is Mars, that's a card of Aries as well. Venus, Mars and Venus, but of course, Taurus and Libra in the Empress. Leo, as I said, in both the Strength card and the King of Wands. And then we have Sagittarius and the Knight of Wands, our happy wanderer here. The Magician is out twice. We've got Scorpio again here in the King of Cups, Taurus in the King of Pentacles. Beautiful reading overall, Scorpio. Thanks for the indulgence of the Dyson Splice earlier. Didn't want to let this reading go. I knew it would be a good one. I'll see you in the extended. The link's below. Bye for now.